Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So today is BookList Thursday. BookList Thursday is something I do with Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of book thoughts, ideas, recommendations, something bookish related. Today is actually a follow-up video from a 5-star predictions that we did a while ago, because I don't remember the day off the top of my head. But we collaborated with Amanda from the Curly Reader for this specific 5-star prediction round. And our kind of focus was on newly acquired books, books that we have bought kind of during quarantine that we thought were going to be 5 stars. So let's get started. Let's talk about that. I don't have a particular order. We'll just go with this one first. So the first one I picked up, I'm pretty sure this was the first one I picked up, was Shiner by Amy Jo Burns. This follows our main character, Wren, and she lives a very interesting life with her parents up in the mountains, I think, of West Virginia. Yes. It's a really close-knit mining town that she's part of, and she's even off the beaten path from there. And her father is kind of a self-proclaimed healer, bit of a preacher, has his own, I guess, following and church-like atmosphere that he leads. And so she really doesn't see anybody except for on Sundays when they meet in an abandoned gas station to hear his sermons, and he uses snakes as part of his process. So this explores kind of how her father came to be in this situation, her life, and then kind of what happens with them. I only gave it 3 stars. I kind of didn't care, and I should have, because it's a lot of shit that happens in this book. But I couldn't connect with characters, with the situation. There's a lot of snakes involved, so if you're not a big fan of snakes, maybe avoid this one. It was just fine for me. Not that 3 stars means it's bad, it just wasn't for me. So it was fine. It is very pretty though, but that may make its way into a free little library around here. Another book I picked up during this was Beach Read by Emily Henry. I can't find my copy. I feel like somebody borrowed it, but I don't know who, and I don't know where it is. So this follows our main characters January and August. August. And they are somewhat of, not really enemies, but they don't really like each other. They're both writers. They've both known each other for a long time. One writes romance, one writes like literary fiction. They end up being next door neighbors in lake houses. It is on a lake, so I guess if there are beaches at lakes, but I was thinking like ocean. But anyways, they're next door neighbors, and they strike up this really interesting relationship out of kind of, they have to because they're right next door to each other. And so they each try to write each other's genres and introduce each other to why they like those genres. So the romance versus literary fiction, and they're helping each other out, getting through some writing slumps. Typical romance. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't think it was like blow me away like some people do, which is totally fine if you do. I think I just had bigger expectations for it. But it was still a really great book. I really did enjoy it. Another one I picked up was A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. This is a Sherlock Holmes, Jamie Watson type retelling, and so James Watson retelling. So we have our 2 main characters, Charlotte Holmes and Jamie Watson. They are the descendants of the original Sherlock Holmes and James Watson. They don't really know each other until they both end up in the same boarding school together. They don't really strike it. It's not like they're immediate friends. I mean, their families have known about each other, but they really didn't know each other until they're kind of thrown in this situation where they have to get to know each other really quickly because there's some mysterious murders going on at the boarding house that they kind of have to figure out because they are basically being framed. interesting. It didn't blow me away. I did not have a great reading 5-star prediction time. I'm just gonna tell you that. I gave it 3 stars. It is a series. I have the other 2 books up there. I don't know if I'm going to keep going with them. I don't. I ended up finishing this on audio just to finish it because I just, again, found myself not really caring. It was fine. So there's my thoughts. The next book I picked up was Good Girls Lie by J.T. Ellison. Super excited for this book as she's a new author to me. It's another boarding school book. I don't know what I got on my kick with these boarding school books, but another boarding school book that takes place at the Good School for Girls, like G-O-O-D-E, I believe. School for Girls. It's a high school boarding school. So we have our main character coming into the school as a brand new student, but you know there's secrets that are kept. You know some of them, but you feel like there's more to it. She comes into the school hiding these secrets right away, hoping she could kind of keep everything on the down low, kind of fade into the background, not really stand out. Well, of course, that's not going to happen. She right away is kind of targeted by this popular girl, and not in a great way. There are secret societies that are in play at this school. There's definitely a lot more sinister things happening at this school. Very good read. I'm definitely going to give J.T. Ellison another try. I gave Good Girls Lie 4 stars. I did like it. And then the only book I gave 5 stars to was The Hiding Place by C.J. Tudor. C.J. Tudor also wrote The Other People and The Chalkman, so I've now read all of the books. There's only 3 out, and oh, love. Like, we'll automatically buy books by C.J. Tudor going forward. So this, it's such a mystery, and it's such a, like, I don't even know how to put it into words. But we have Joe, and he has to come back to Arnhill, which is the city that he grew up in. He ends up coming back as a teacher. He left to run away from something, which you end up finding out fairly early, but he left running away from something. He comes back as a teacher, taking over this position of a previous teacher who ended up dying in a very mysterious way, or a very brutal way. So people are very skeptical as to why Joe is there taking this position, and Joe moved into that person's house, which was even creepier. But Joe has a feeling that what happened in the past is now happening again. And he couldn't figure it out when he was growing up. And so he's kind of coming back out of obligation because it's like, ugh, I kind of got to figure this out. Interesting, Joe is an unreliable character. So if you don't like unreliable characters, I wouldn't pick this up. I like them. So part of you is wondering, how much can you really trust Joe? He had a really bad gambling problem. He has some other motives driving him because of this gambling problem. Of course, there's people there in power that were there when Joe originally was growing up in the town and kind of know what's in the past. It's just very different. Same with the other people, how it was very different. This is very different. So if you're looking for something spooky, something thrillerish that's not typical, definitely pick up The Hiding Place. I gave this 5 stars. I loved it. Again, C.J. Tudor will buy every one of those books. We're going for it. It's great. So those are my 5 books. Make sure you head over to Sarah's channel and to Amanda's channel and see how they did with their 5-star prediction round. I love 5-star predictions. This definitely makes me look at my books and really pick out the ones that I'm most excited for. So make sure you come back next week as we go through our next round of 5-star predictions. You'll know who our co-host is, as well as what our theme is for that round. So I'm excited for that one. Really excited for this one. So anyways, check out their channels, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye.